Okay, this is the 9th tape in Practicing Computer Shorthand, and it covers study frames 131 through 145. Okay, the first frame is 131, the final ND. This is a very, very common sound in the English language. It's not really the most convenient stroke necessarily. There are a couple ways you can deal with that. I found that it helped to build up my D key, and sometimes I just leave the D altogether off if it doesn't produce a conflict. For instance, in the word found, you could just write F-O-U-N. Okay? Alright, so the word list: amend, and, bend, bond, bound, find, found, fund, hand, kind, and that is 10 words. Land, penned, send, sound, spend, stand. Okay, frame 132 is final NT. And again, if you have trouble reaching this stroke up to the T, you can build up the T key. I found that to be very helpful to me. Okay, absent, accent, assent, bent, sent, descent, defendant, dent, descent, event, and that is 10 words. Extent, grant, moment, paint, parent, patent, print, rant, recent, silent, spent, tenant, vacant, want, went. Okay, and if you perhaps choose not to build up your T key, you might have a little bit of tendency to drag in that L. So just be mindful to either error define those words, or just train yourself to read through that error in your notes. Okay? Okay, frame 133 is final LK, and this is really a visual stroke in a way. So I deal with ALK by writing it AUK, AUK, just the way it sounds, and ULK. What I came up with doing was to write it UQ, okay? That way you don't have to attach on any second strokes, which again I think isn't very necessarily very efficient for one syllable words to have to use two strokes. So here are the words: bulk, chalk, talk, walk. Okay, bulk, skulk, sulk. Okay, frame 134 is final ing. Being, bring, cling, fling, going, ring, sing, thing. Okay, frame 135 is final ung. Flung, hung, lung, rung, slung, stung, swung, young. Okay, frame 136 is final ong. Along, belong, bong, long, prolong, song, strong, wrong. Okay, frame 137 is final ang. Clang, gang, hang, sang, slang, sprang. Okay, and just to note on the last four frames that we've done, obviously they've included vowels, and we did it that way because the NG sound just occurs quite a bit in the language, so at any rate we did have vowels included these last four times. Okay, frame 138 is final ings. This one, it's really important to think of a way that you want to deal with this. I didn't really find it to be very efficient to write the attached ending for ing and then for the plural S as well. You know, you had the initial word and then you had to write those two endings too. So one way that you can do that is to write NGS with the word on the keyboard there. I also sometimes just write the root word and then attach my own arbitrary for ings, and that arbitrary is EUZ. That's what I use. Okay. Bearings, beginnings, ceilings, dressings, endings, filings, goings, holdings, indexings, killings, and that is 10 words. Listings, rulings, settings, tracings, writings. Okay, frame 139 is final ink. And the conventional way of doing this is FBG. Again, I don't personally prefer that because it goes against the natural curvature of the hand. It's a little awkward and time consuming to write, in my opinion. So what I do is attach the vowel sound to the RBGS. So for instance, if I was writing the word blink, I would write BLEU RBGS. That's entirely personal preference and arbitrary, but it's just something that I share. Okay. Blink, brink, clink, drink, think, kink, link, pink, shrink, sink. And that is 10 words. Stink, think, wink. Okay, frame 140 is final ink. Bank, blank, clank, crank, drank, frank, prank, rank, sank, stank, tank, thank, yank. Okay, frame 140, final unk. chunk, clunk, drunk, flunk, gunk, junk, punk, stunk, sunk, trunk. Okay, and again you'll notice the last 3 frames we've thrown in some vowel sounds too. So it's just a little extra that we've been doing. Okay, frame 142, final RD. I personally find this to be a pretty easy stroke because there are no there are no intervening strokes, so it's easy really to have a full reach all the way up to the D there. Okay. Absurd, accord, afford, board, card, cord, ford, guard, hard, heard, and that is 10 words. Record, regard, third, toward, ward, weird, word. Okay, and just a note, words that have, if you listen to them, they have an IRD sound, whether or not they're always spelled that way. So for instance, the word heard, I heard someone talk, you can just write that H-E-U-R-D, if you want to just write it very phonetically. I find that to be an easy stroke. Okay. Frame number 143 is final RTH. This one can be a little bit difficult to get because your index finger is anchored down, and at the same time you're trying to reach all the way up to the TH. So what I tend to do is not to think about the H that's on the end, about completing that TH sound, but just write it as T. Okay, so instead of writing birth, you would write Bert, and generally that seems to work really well. Okay. Birth, earth, fourth, fourth, north, thenceforth, worth. Okay, frame number 144. This is final RLD. The only significant word that I found in my research that uses this is the word world. So this is a lot of talking for one word, but Anyway, it's a difficult stroke because you have your index finger anchored down. You're trying to reach up for the L, and then you're trying to spread over with your pinky to the left. So I don't find that it really works well to write that so visually. So it works really well to write it W-O-R-L or W-I-R-L. Okay, so that's the word world. Okay, and our final frame for this tape is 145, and this is final RT. And again, if you hear the I sound in the word, even though it may be spelled another way, such as E or ERT or URT or EART, you can write that with an I if you find that to be an easy stroke. You know, it really depends on what you like to do, if you want to see it more visual or you want to take it more phonetically. Okay, the words. Abort, alert, apart, assert, assort, avert, cart, court, dart, depart, and that is 10 words. Deport, desert, dirt, divert, effort, escort, exert, exhort, heart, hurt, import, inert, insert, overt, part, resort, revert, shirt, short, skirt, smart, sort, sport, start, tort. Okay, this completes the 9th dictation tape for practicing computer shorthand. And practice hard and keep those fingers flying.